G'day Shape Nashville, my name's Andy Hare. I'm from Geelong, Australia. My story today that I'm going to share with you is a story called I Am Because You Believe. It captures career through storytelling, and it's a story of being inspired but also being inspirational. Chapter 1 is about being inspired. Coach John Wooden once said, being a role model is the most powerful form of education. As a child growing up, my father was a very active father. He was my first PE teacher, my coach, my teammate, and my rival. As a primary school student, he was the one that helped connect me with sport outside of school. He helped show me how to play football. And in the backyard of our house growing up in the country, he was the person that taught me to kick, to mark. He was the one that helped guide me to actually go and play football on the weekends. During the summer, we played tennis. He also became my teammate, the one that I relied on to go out and practice, the one that I would rely on to seek inspiration from, to receive feedback from. Negative, positive. I was inspired by my father to play sport. He also became my rival later in life, where I sought every possible way to try and beat him, to prove that I was better than my father. And when I did, and I had those moments of glimpses where a championship success was going to come my way, it inspired me to continue the pathway of being actively involved in sport. Later in my life, I found triathlons and Ironman and the success of the brand Anything Is Possible to be able to drive me to a competitive level, to inspire me to keep going, to share those lessons with the children I taught. To this day in my career, I look back and I also seek inspiration from my very first PE teacher. His name was Dale Constable. When I was in primary school, I remember getting to school early and waiting for Mr. Constable to show up every morning. You see, Mr. Constable was not just a PE teacher. To me, he was a superhero. He drove a combi van. On top of the combi van was his surfing gear. And every day I caught him getting out of his combi van, a towel would come out first. The sand would be brushed off the feet because Mr. Constable would surf before he came to school. And then he would inspire us with his lessons and the stories he would tell us from the time he was out surfing. And he captured the interest of a junior Andy Hare, where I remember him telling me as we were practicing our high jump into a sand pit, going over a metal bar. And I was telling him how I wanted to go over a bar. And this one thing is the only thing I can remember from those PE lessons. He asked me to show him, rather than tell him. And that inspiration has motivated me right through my career, where I ask the kids in my class today to show me, rather than tell me what they can do. To show me how they can take the skills that we're teaching them and apply them to a real life situation. To show me how the lessons we've taught them in physical education connects with their story outside of school. Whether it be a state championship, whether it be a national championship, or whether it be joining a sporting team, or whether it's down at the park, hanging from the monkey bars and learning that they can move themselves from one end to the other with a movement pattern that we've shown them in physical education. You see, being inspired by someone continues to motivate you for your entire life. As John Wooden said, that role model is often a parent or a school teacher. And the role that they play continues to inspire us on a daily basis. As we sit back and as we educate children, we don't think about the inspiration that we leave upon them. We continue to drive and be inspired by the lessons that we have been taught over our time. Ironman has taught me that anything is possible, that experimentation and risk-taking plays a huge part of my role as an educator. Chapter 2 is be motivated. Finding your Everest is such an inspirational part of telling your story. You see, you need to set the benchmark high. You need to be able to find your Everest and find the steps to be able to conquer the mountain. This is motivation. Motivation engineers change. My lessons that I teach my children are pivotal in the moments in their chapters, in their stories, in their successes. My role as an educator is not opening a textbook. It's discovering what motivates a child. It's discovering what intrigues a child. And it's discovering what empowers a child to be able to achieve their success. If their success is constant, with a lot of negatives, with a lot of failures, with a lot of motivating, with a lot of directing and self-discovery, then they're able to start to engineer their own change. Our role as educators is pivotal. We're there to connect life to education and education to life. We want to be able to share with them experiences that they can pick up, put into their school bags, and reapply in their own individual ways to actually make their life rewarding and better. We're motivating them to be able to plant a seed that they can draw upon at any stage in their life, whether it be as a teenager or an adult or as a grandparent. To realise that we made a difference for that one individual child. I look back and I think about the tens of thousands of kids that I've had the pleasure of working with over my career. But what motivates me is making sure that one of those children finds their own success and values their own success and takes some of the lessons that we've motivated them with in physical education and applies it to their life, to make their life more positive, to make something in their life rewarding, to make something in their life a pleasure. The power of social media has driven me. When I joined Twitter in 2009, I was blown away with the professional development that was there, and all I had to do was find it. #PhysEd is one of the most powerful hashtags in the world for our purpose. It drives conversation. It drives motivation. It drives that intrinsic nature to be better. And who does not want to be better? You sit in this room today listening to some inspirational speakers from right around the world because you want to be motivated, because you want to be better, because you want to engineer change, because you're looking for what's next. What can I take from today's lessons and place into my own physical education program and own classroom programs tomorrow? What is one thing that I can take away and be successful with straight away? To be motivated, you need to be critical of yourself. You need to drive yourself crazy. You need to be able to wake up in the middle of the night and realize that you've just found that drive that you're looking for. the change that you're looking for, the what's next that you're looking for. You see, that's passion. Passion has given me sleepless nights. Passion has allowed me to write 6 books in 2 years of ideas that I may never act upon. But I know that they are driving statements and they're driving diagrams that's going to help push me for my career. I urge you to be an explorer and look for that secret success. You see, it could be hidden under these rocks. But your job is to discover that success. And when you find it, use that success to motivate yourself. Use that success to place that into the life of one child and motivate that one child to take the lesson that you are delivering and apply it to their life outside of school. Chapter 3 is be inspirational. We don't mean to be, but it just happens. We have children in our care every single day, and the lessons we teach, they take home. Imitation is the first lesson. They learn to copy, and they learn by doing, and they learn by seeing. But imitation creates innovation. They take what we do, they role play it, they turn it into their own, they own it. We often hear about kids when they have their own free time and they reenact their role models, their parents, their teachers. They're sharing the lessons that we teach them. They're providing the inspiration for us to be intrinsically motivated. Twitter is an amazing source of inspiration, as is Facebook. Each one of those allows us to hashtag what we feel is powerful. The lessons that we learn on social media can change the way we structure our own education, our own classrooms. We can take ideas and we can experiment them safely inside our own realm. And every now and then, we get so inspired that we need to share with the world. And when we look around in our single teacher office, we forget that we have a broadcast through social media. We have an audience that we are able to feed that powerful message to. We're able to broadcast what we feel has made such a difference. And we're able to inspire that one teacher. I seek the one retweet. That motivates me because I know I've connected with that one person. That motivates me to keep sharing, to find my what's next, to find my inspiration, and to keep building my empire, which is my classroom. The lessons that I take from other people, the inspiration I take from other people, gets directly fed to the children that I teach, to those that I'm providing inspiration for. Because I know that one day they're going to pick that inspiration up and they're going to apply that to their life. I urge you to stop teaching and start connecting. My mentor, Mark Collard from Plamio, urges us to connect with every individual that we come across, to understand their background. What do they bring to the learning situation? If we stop delivering and we start connecting, we become a strength-based curriculum where every person that comes through that door is able to add value to your program, is able to add value to my program. And they're able to work on their strengths and their weaknesses by being inspired by others. Be transparent. Share everything you do. with the students, with your school and the teachers within it, but most importantly, with your community. If you can help shape the lives of the children and share with that the community, then holistically, everyone is on the same page. I want you to broadcast your message and find what really inspires you, and don't be afraid to stand up and let someone know. Brag about your story. Tell them how good that one thing that you chose to do, to invest your time in, to invest your budget in, that kept you awake at night, that distracted you from family events on the weekend. Why was that so significant? Be inspirational. Chapter 4 is being admired. If you truly connect your audience, you do not have to teach them anything. I love walking into my classroom and my students start to unpack their lessons and to find their own successes in their own unique ways. They start to pose questions which we then build onto the lesson contents. But you see, it was never always like this. I was a textbook teacher when I was early in my career, and I was defined by my own measure of success. Until one day I met a student by the name of Mitch Bond. Mitch came into my care as an educator in grade 1. You see, Mitch had limited use of his legs, yet Mitch could do everything he wanted to do. He taught me that success was defined by what he could improve, what he could take from a lesson and apply to his own life. And this is where my career changed. Because from that day on, every child became unique, and every child invested their own definition of success into our lessons. I'd like to introduce Mitch.
G'day Harry and g'day Nashville. I'd like to talk about how much Mr. Hare has helped me with my sport. One of the biggest things that he's helped me with is determination, hard work and confidence in believing that I can achieve anything I put my mind to. He's been a great support for me in my sport, helping me to pursue a pathway I wanted to follow, and helping me train during school. And because of this, I made it to national championships in wheelchair racing when I was told becoming the fastest for under 16s at my age. And I've now made it to national and state under 23 squad for wheelchair basketball. Thanks Harry for helping me believe I can.
Mitch's lessons shared with me what I'm able to apply to my own career. You see, it's a two-way admiration. As an educator, we often see that the kids admire us. But when the goings get tough and we're seeking inspiration, we admire the lessons that the students have taught us. I take Mitch's motivation when I'm racing Ironman triathlons, and I use the success and the inspiration that he shared with me. When the going got tough, he stood up. And that motivates me to get the job done. It motivates me to take those lessons and apply that to every individual child in my classroom. Differentiated approach is 100% the key to success. The power of one motivated my teaching of 1,000 children a year. And it allowed me to preach my message to tens of thousands through social media. It allows me to reach out and share that the story of Mitch Bond is something that is replicable. It's something that is in your classrooms today. If you can share with a child a pathway of success and urge them to continue to drive and be fostered by motivated people and connect them to changes where they can be self-empowered and they can be successful, then the empowerment of life is insane. You see, Mitch played in every school sporting team, his way. Mitch joined every single opportunity that he could possibly do, his way. And that motivates me as a teacher to continue to inspire not only the students in my classroom, but you as an educator as well, to not leave any stone unturned, to find that admiration in your students and seek that way to be able to change yourself as a teacher, but also their pathway as a student. Our final chapter of this story is to make each day your masterpiece. You see, I jump out of bed every morning, 2 feet hit the ground, and I'm excited to be there. I go to work and I think about what's going to happen for that day. And I try and make predictions, and I try and make assumptions. But the masterpiece won't be painted and won't be finalised until late that afternoon. A lot happens in a day that shapes your masterpiece. And our job as educators is to find the negatives and conquer them, to climb your Everest, to reach that next level, to unpack what we're motivated to succeed with for that particular day. I love to make my passion of my students, to involve them in learning, to actually have them invested into the lessons that we share with them, to connect them with before school, recess, lunchtime, after school, and help them understand that the valuable entity of physical activity is a commodity that is worth investing in. You don't know what tomorrow brings, so you need to savour the successes that come from within the day and really conquer that masterpiece and paint your Picasso so you can capture, finalise, and conquer again tomorrow. Treat today as your championship. Today is your success. Today is the one day that's going to make a difference to the one child that you're teaching in your grade. Today is the one day that someone's going to retweet one of your tweets. Today is that one day that you're going to get caught out being inspirational. And you're going to connect with a family, that you're going to change the pathway. Today is that one day that you're going to inspire that one child that in 15 years' time is going to be saying, my PE teacher made a difference because they cared. Today is your masterpiece. Be motivated to paint your picture that you're going to be proud to hang on your wall. Be motivated to take that picture and share that with as many people as you can. Invest in communication. Allow others to see your masterpiece. Admire, be inspired by. Inspire others. Share with them your story, because you are going to make a difference to one person today. Stand tall with me, Team Phys Ed. Take a look around this room today, and I want you to look into someone's eyes. Give them a wave, point to them, fist bump, give them a hug. Tell them how proud you are to be a part of this unbelievable career. Be motivated by the story that connects them to why they are here. You see, today has been written, but tomorrow doesn't exist. Take the inspiration from these unbelievable talks that you've been present today and take one thing and put it into your careers for tomorrow. Be inspired to make a difference to the children you teach. Take your story and tell it. Define your chapters and own it. Be motivated by your success. Make a difference to the one person that matters, that particular child in your classroom. I'm Andy Hare, and this is I Am Because You Believe.